Hello English learners, welcome back to the English with Michael YouTube channel. I want to give some advice today on a topic that is very close to my heart, is very important to me, because this is something that I have struggled with a lot in the past, and I know many other people do as well. And this is the topic of shyness, especially how to speak English, how to practice English if you are a shy person. And now, just to give a little bit of backstory, I started learning Japanese about 10 years ago, about a decade ago now. And at the beginning, I was incredibly shy. At this point, I was really too shy to call anyone on the phone. I was too shy to look people in the eyes. I couldn't even have a normal conversation with people. At this point, I was trying to look for a job. I had some job interviews lined up as well. And I didn't even go to many of my job interviews because I was too shy and too scared to meet new people. So it was a huge problem in my life. It stopped me doing so many things. So I know how debilitating and limiting shyness can be. For me, it was also an obstacle for my language learning, which was a pain. It could have been much worse, because my language learning has always been a hobby. But I know many English learners, maybe you listening or you watching, is more than a hobby. It's something you need in your life, because English is a really important international language these days. So hopefully my advice in this video is going to help you take steps to overcoming your shyness. I should first mention as well that some of you may not see a problem with it. You may identify with your shyness and think, oh, it doesn't matter, this is just who I am. But based on my experience, I would say the sooner you can take steps to overcome your shyness, the happier you will be. Because my biggest regret in life, if I have any, or one of my biggest anyway, is that I didn't try to overcome my shyness sooner. I just said, this is who I am. I'm a shy person. But I missed out on so many opportunities because of that. I really, really struggled in life because I was just too shy. So the sooner you can try to work on it, the better, in my opinion. So unlike many YouTubers, I'm going to give my favorite piece of advice right at the beginning here. I'm going to say, make incremental changes. So what I mean by that is make tiny changes in your life that can help you reach your goal, in this case overcoming shyness. It doesn't have to be anything huge, but your goal, the idea, is to continually step outside your comfort zone. How far can you go outside your comfort zone without feeling like it's too much? So take baby steps outside your comfort zone. It's not possible to grow without feeling some level of discomfort. I think that's very important, so I'll say it again. It's not possible to grow without feeling some level of discomfort. I think that's really good to remember. So think about this. Think about a tiny change you could make on a regular basis. One goal that I had when I was 18, something like that, was to say one word, say something to a stranger every day. Now this might be too much for some people who are shy, but this was a really good goal for me because I would go for a walk, I would just see someone on the street and I would say, hello, or I would say, oh, nice weather today. Something really simple. Sometimes they would just say something back like hello. Sometimes they would completely ignore me, and sometimes they would actually talk and it would escalate into a conversation. But this was really good practice for me because I was getting used to that fear. Like the worst case scenario, they ignore me. I didn't die, I didn't get hurt, nothing happened. So learning that time after time was really helpful for me. It's good to see every part of your journey as a learning opportunity. Whether you feel like it's a failure or a success, it's all part of your learning journey. And just imagine if you can take that tiny, tiny step to improve every day, every week, where could you be in 1 year or 5 years? You could be a completely different person. If you told 18-year-old Michael that one day I would be talking on YouTube, have my own podcast, doing group lessons where I've got many, many people looking at me and hearing me talk, I would not believe you. That was so terrifying to me. I think at the time, I would rather chop off my hand. You know, it was so scary. But with tiny steps day by day, I was able to overcome that. So basically, if I can do it, anyone can do it. That's my main message here. But let's talk a little bit now about specific language learning advice. So when it comes to learning English, of course it's really important to practice speaking. It's one of the most neglected skills. And I think it's really good to find someone you're comfortable with. Finding a teacher or a language partner or anyone to talk to is very much just like finding a normal friend. You have to be comfortable with them. You have to be comfortable making mistakes. I may be biased, but I always prefer paying for lessons because I don't mind making mistakes if I'm paying. That's what I'm paying the teacher for, right? I'm paying them to hear my mistakes and correct my mistakes. So I don't feel so embarrassed. It's a little bit more embarrassing when it is a language partner because they're giving you their time for free, right? So keep that in mind. To take the first step though, I would recommend finding a teacher online or someone like that, anyone you can. I've spoke about this in previous videos, and schedule a 15-minute call. Keep it 15 minutes. It's quite a short time, right? So 15 minutes, it's enough to kind of get outside your comfort zone, if that's scary for you, and see what it's like. If it's a language exchange, you could try just say like 6 minutes in English and 6 minutes in the other language. And it's just kind of dipping your toe in the water, which means you're getting used to it very slowly. Do the kind of bare minimum of what you feel comfortable with. Then, hopefully that gives you some momentum, gives you some motivation, and you can build from there. You can keep improving, you can keep extending that time. So maybe after the first session, you feel more comfortable doing 30 minutes, even 1 hour. See what you can do, but you need to change the way you think about that fear. Whenever you feel that sense of fear or dread, your heart kind of drops in your chest, try to see that as a good thing. That's usually a sign that there is a growth opportunity. So don't move away from that. Don't shy away from that. It's an opportunity to grow and get better at something. Another thing that I really find useful when you do end up speaking and practicing your English is use a cheat sheet. Even if I don't use it, it's just nice to have that there. So a cheat sheet is basically a document or piece of paper where you write down some useful phrases. So sometimes I just write down like a phrase, for example, if I understand you correctly, or today I have to leave 5 minutes earlier, or hey, how was your week? Anything like that, anything that you think might be difficult to remember, you can have a cheat sheet of phrases and topics. So if you're worried about not knowing what to say, or you get nervous and you forget your English, there will be some good phrases on your cheat sheet. Sometimes I don't use it. I think it's kind of like, imagine you're going ice skating. You know, it's nice to go ice skating at the edge of the ice rink because you can hold on to the bars. Even if you don't hold on to the bars, you feel much safer because they're nearby, right? Another tip I always like to remind myself is, what's the worst that could happen? So before you do something scary, probably like speaking or whatever it's going to be to practice your English, stay calm, take a deep breath, breathe really, really deeply. It's always underrated, but it really, really does help. And think, what am I scared of? What am I really scared about here? Am I scared of making mistakes? Am I scared of this? And also focus on the feeling of after. So after you have finished what you're about to do, how will you feel? Focus on that feeling of satisfaction, like, wow, I did it. I can't believe I did it. You're going to feel so much happier. Conversely, if you go, no, I'm too scared, I can't do it. You know, just like me avoiding my job interviews when I was younger, I felt terrible. It made me lose confidence and I was spiraling down. It's not a good feeling. So again, discomfort leads to growth, usually. My final piece of advice, which has helped me in the past, is just kind of realizing no one really cares. It's a really harsh reality for some people because we always have these ideas that everyone cares about us. Everyone is so concerned that, oh, Michael, you haven't shaved in a while, you look really ugly. Or, Michael, your Japanese sounds terrible. Or something like that. Whenever you see someone looking at you, we think, oh, they're judging me, they're judging me. Probably, they're just thinking about themselves, you know? Most people care a lot more about themselves than they do about you. I think we all know that deep down, right? And it's the same with language learning. If you have a lesson with a teacher, the teacher's probably more worried about doing a good job. They're not going to be judging your mistakes. They're going to be, I hope I can give a good lesson. I hope this student's going to book another lesson. I really want to give a good impression. I know that because I'm a teacher online, and that's always how I feel, even after many years of teaching. I'm always more concerned about how I will seem than how the student will seem. I don't know how we can overcome that, but whenever you're nervous, just remember, no one cares about your mistakes as much as you do. Okay, so hopefully that's reassuring. But yeah, if there's one takeaway from this video, is if you're shy, what can you do to take a baby step outside your comfort zone today? Not tomorrow, but today. See what you can do, and then see if you can build on that momentum and make it a little bit bigger tomorrow. Keep expanding your comfort bubble until you see that growth over time. So leave in the comments below, what are you planning to do? For some of you, it might be a 10-minute call with someone. For some of you, it might be talking on stage to 100 people. We all have different comfort levels, but let me know in the comments what your plan is to leave your comfort zone. Okay, so this was a little bit of a rambly video. I wanted to give some advice. Someone left a comment asking about this topic, and I thought I would share my advice here. I've also covered this topic a few times on my podcast, so if you want to hear some of that, maybe on the way to work, while you're exercising or cooking, I'll put links to that in the description and you can have a look there too. But thank you very much for watching today. I hope you found my advice useful and maybe even inspiring. I hope so, anyway. But have a good week and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.